This took literally 30 years to finally happen. After all this time, baby Waluigi has finally been born into the Mario universe. It's a boy, and eventually a very, very tall boy. But the more important question is Waluigi or Luigi your true tall king? Well, either way, you might be thinking, what's the big deal about baby Waluigi? He's just another baby character. We already have baby Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Rosalina, even Wario, so why not add Waluigi? Surely he's been around before. Well, no, he hasn't. This is our very first confirmation of baby Waluigi ever existing. Also, his baby sounds are probably the one that makes the most sense, because he says wah. Waluigi, wah. Oh my god. So let's talk about it. And of course, I cannot help myself but also look at the community response to his announcement in this video. But hey, are you subscribed yet? Because this is LED, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. So first things first, let's establish some things. The baby characters in the Mario universe were first introduced way back in 1995 with the introduction of baby Mario and baby Luigi. Well, technically some baby characters were introduced even further back. I'm talking back in 1988 if we're counting the non-human babies like the baby Cheep, or if you count this thing. Do you count this thing as a baby? But you can learn more about that in my video on the history of the baby Mario characters after this one. Seriously, go watch that video after you've completed watching this one if you want more context. You'll learn a lot and I would really appreciate it. Today's video, however, is about history in the making, because so far we've seen pretty much every single human character in the Mario universe get a baby version of themselves, except for one very notable and nimble character, Waluigi. Waluigi has never had a baby version of themselves before, but that all changed during the recent September 2025 Nintendo Direct. This past Nintendo Direct was certainly a strange one, and is probably one of the most divisive that we've seen in a long time. Some of the more controversial parts weren't even announced in the Direct itself, but instead were related to ongoing discussion about Nintendo's pricing. I mean, even the game that we're going to be talking about today, Mario Tennis Fever, is $70, which a lot of people aren't happy with. And the overall community hype for the game seems lackluster, at least right now, due to that. I mean, it's a sports game after all. You kind of want to be able to play with your friends and family, but when the game seems inaccessible or just something that people aren't willing to shell out that amount of money for, a game that they're not even sure about to begin with, or maybe they'll only play a few times a year, it's tough. But maybe I'll be surprised. What do you think? The Direct also announced strange hardware for the Virtual Boy that they're bringing to Nintendo Switch Online. So $100 to be able to break your neck and really kind of look dumb. They also chose to announce DLC for a game that isn't even out yet. But hey, maybe that's just me thinking that this stuff is kind of odd. But the one thing that was definitely not on my bingo card for the Direct was them announcing that the adventure mode in Mario Tennis Fever of all things would be focused on all of the baby characters plus our newly introduced baby Waluigi. And I guess Donkey Kong is there too. I don't know what's going on over at Nintendo where someone has decided that Donkey Kong of all characters has been designated the official babysitter of the franchise. I mean, Donkey Kong was recently just with young Pauline in Donkey Kong Bonanza, and now here he is with all of these babies. And honestly, he seems just as dumbfounded as all of us over this decision. Is there someone who would be a better babysitter? Or is this the perfect choice and I just don't quite understand yet? Maybe Donkey Kong's a good dad, I don't know. Well, this is everything that we know about the adventure mode in Mario Tennis Fever so far. On Nintendo's website, they say, experience a story in which Mario and friends, encountering monsters on a remote island, find themselves transformed into babies. Help them relearn their tennis skills and defeat the monsters to return to normal in adventure mode. Alright, so just let me get this straight. The baby characters, to me, just continue to get stranger and stranger because Nintendo is basically saying that if we become the next Serena Williams, we'll finally be able to become an adult again. Is there like some sort of moral lesson in here somewhere that I'm not understanding just yet? So get good at sport, become adult. I fear that we would have less adults in the gaming space if that were truly the case. Unless, of course, we're counting Wii Sports. or even like FIFA, then I think everyone's got at least a Roth IRA. And what monster is possibly able to contort and control the age of characters? Does anybody have any idea? Or is this like some new character that would do this? You can't tell me. Please don't tell me that this is Kemek. If this is Kemek turning all of the characters into babies, I will be so alarmed, but at the same time, I guess I wouldn't be too surprised. If you didn't know, Kemek is a literal kidnapper. Yep. You gotta watch my last video on the baby characters to learn more about all of that. It's not great. So if it is Kemek after all of this time, oh, I hope that's not true. Another possibility is maybe Madame Grape from Princess Peach Showtime. And then they call it Princess Peach Playtime, am I right? I say that because I've unironically accidentally called Princess Peach Showtime Princess Peach Playtime. It would be fitting for a game about babies. I will, I think, make a video on why I was so disappointed about Princess Peach Showtime one day. If there's enough interest in it, of course. I do have to mention that in my last video on the baby characters, I mentioned how there was maybe a possibility that the entire time it was actually baby Rosalina who was making some sort of time warp in order to create a universe where the baby characters and the adult characters can exist in the same reality. Because remember, Rosalina has powers out here. And you know what's kind of crazy? You know who we don't see in the trailer as a baby? Baby Rosalina. Where is baby Rosalina? Where is she? Maybe, I'm telling you, maybe she's behind this whole thing. It's a possibility. Will it happen? I don't know. You'll have to let me know what you think. Probably not. But personally, I actually think that Mario Tennis Fever looks really fun. I really like the new mechanics that they're adding to the tennis rackets. What with they become fire, they gain ice abilities. I think it's a really fun idea, and it's been a while since we've had a game like this. At least that's how it feels. I know that we just had Dragon Drive, but come on. I would actually consider playing Mario Tennis Fever, but the price just feels a little bit too steep for me for a game that I would only play a couple of times, and I would really want to be able to play it with friends, and I'm just not sure how many of my friends are actually going to be getting a game like this, but you can let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. I do find that the placement of this baby adventure mode being in Mario Tennis Fever of all games to be just very odd, especially considering that they just announced Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, which Yoshi and the baby characters have been pretty synonymous with one another for a while, really since the babies even came around, at least for the human babies. So it's just interesting that they're placing it in Mario Tennis Fever. I don't know why they did that, and I'm not really sure what they're gonna do to explain this. I just find it odd. I don't know about you, but I feel like I need a reason to play the new Yoshi game because it kind of just looks like a snooze fest to me. It looks like a baby game where babies should definitely be. Am I a hater? Am I? It just doesn't look good. At least the trailer didn't do a good job showing it off. That's just my take. I like Yoshi. I like Yoshi, but I don't know, it just doesn't look that good. And I do think that it would probably be more appropriate for the baby adventure mode to be in the Yoshi game, but we'll have to see what happens. I will say that the community response to Baby Waluigi has been really surprising to me because when I talked about Baby Waluigi in my original video on the baby characters in Mario, I thought that Baby Waluigi was gonna be very unpopular because again, it's just another character taking up a slot in Mario Kart, which a lot of people seem to be upset about. However, people are pretty excited about Baby Waluigi, and I've been seeing a lot of posts excited about him, celebrating him, saying that they're gonna do it for Baby Waluigi. I'm wondering if some people are actually gonna buy the game strictly just for this new mode. Like, was that the play? Because still, I believe that it would be better in Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, because that game interests me the least. But some people have been really funny. I saw this one meme where they were comparing Baby Waluigi to Baby Squidward, and it's actually kind of perfect. I kind of love it. It's kind of perfect. And then I've been seeing some other posts about poor Donkey Kong. And how Yoshi is celebrating. Finally, Yoshi is free from having to babysit the kids. It's now time for Donkey Kong. Another post that really intrigues me actually was a concept art that was actually posted way back in March of 2022 by this creator, and they actually had made concept art for Baby Waluigi and also Baby Pauline. To see renderings of possibly Baby Pauline, I'm like, oh my god, are we gonna get an actual Baby Pauline one day? Is that where we're at? Is that what's happening? Let me know what you guys think. Would you guys be happy to see Baby Pauline at this point? We're gonna get all stages of evolution of the characters of Mario. Gonna get its basic form, middle form, and then gonna get its third form. What's the mega? Oh boy, I can't wait for the day that we get retirement Mario. That is just on the horizon. He's playing tennis, golf is soon, and retirement is next, I believe. Let me know what you think about Baby Waluigi and the fact that they are finally in the Mario universe, and let me know if there are any topics that you'd like me to cover in a future video. Again, make sure to go check out my video where I talk more about the history of the baby characters in general. If you'd like to support the channel so then I can make more videos like this, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and consider becoming a member of the channel or donating on my Ko-Fi. Thank you so much for being here, friends, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!